Mason Jennings, private detective. Starring Tim Riker as Mason Jennings. Co-starring Carrie Holman as Sabrina Storm. And as Frank Stillman. Linda Mitchell as Barbara Miller. Thomas Cutter as Everett Gray. Victor Nelson as Leland Shaw. And Ramona Cooper as Bonnie Silvers. Episode 3, Part 3, The Whistler.
Everett just stared. No flicker of recognition, no nod, just that silent, unblinking gaze. Barbara stepped forward.
He's not always easy to talk to, Mr. Jennings. He doesn't like strangers, and he can't write. You see, he only communicates by whistling.
Whistling?
Yes, it's his language. Over time, if you listen carefully, you'll begin to understand him. It takes patience. What is it, Everett?
Barbara turned her full attention to Everett. He made a low whistling, a sound that seemed to paint a picture in the air, though I couldn't grasp its meaning. Barbara listened intently, her head tilted, her brow furrowed in concentration.
He said he's scared.
There's nothing to be scared of, Everett. Everett whistled again, a different pattern this time, more agitated. Barbara's expression changed, growing serious.
He said that's easy for you to say. Everett has had a rough life, Mr. Jennings. It took me months to get him to trust me.
I don't have months to wait. I need to know what, if anything, he saw.
I don't know. I don't trust you.
What did he say?
Everett doesn't trust you. He doesn't trust you, and he wants you to leave.
I really need to know what he saw. I can't just...
If you push him, you'll never get him to talk with you. You need to leave.
I reached to shake Everett's hand, but he didn't lift a finger in return. I got up and walked out of his apartment, with Barbara closely following behind. As we walked down the hall, Barbara had an idea.
We both have the next 2 days off. Come back this evening, around 7, and bring a couple of pizzas.
A pair of tubes. That's what the morning had been. I'd come in expecting to pull a straight flush, walk out with some information about the killer. Instead, I'd walked out with a riddle wrapped in whistles and a date to bring dinner. The exasperation was a cold knot that settled in my gut. But if the weight of this silent man's truth was through his stomach, then so be it. As busy as I kept, the clock on my office wall dragged its feet, but eventually 6:30 rolled around. I stopped at Papa Louie's. The smell of oregano and melting cheese hit me like a ton of bricks. 2 large deep dish pizzas, loaded. If food was the key, I was bringing a whole ring of them. Barbara knocked on and opened the door to apartment 608.
Everett, Mr. Jennings is here. Is it okay if we come in? He brought pizza.
Everett was sitting at a small table, a chessboard set up but untouched. The aroma of pizza filled the air, softening the edges of the room.
Please do.
Everett, Miss Miller, I brought dinner. 2 large deep dish pizzas. Everett's eyes, usually so wary, flickered towards the pizza boxes in my hands. A tiny, almost imperceptible tilt of his head. Progress, maybe. Barbara took the boxes.
Thank you, Mr. Jennings. That's very kind.
Call me Mason, please. And it's no trouble. Best deep dish in Chicago City. We sat around the small table. Barbara served out slices, the cheese stretching like taffy. Everett picked up his piece slowly. He didn't eat fast, but he ate steadily. No words were exchanged about the alley or the professor. I watched Everett, trying to catch the rhythm of his stillness, the subtle movements that might hint at a language beyond words. He looked up once, caught my eye, and then a low, soft whistle. Not a complex one, just a brief, almost melodic sound.
Thank you for the good.
He likes it. He said thank you.
I managed a slight smile. A thank you. Simple, human. It wasn't the blueprint I was after, but it was a crack in the wall around Everett Gray, and around this case. That included me building trust with a man that never uttered a single word in his life. This was the long game. In the corner of the living area, I saw a small table with a chessboard. I asked, "You're a chess player, Everett?"
I bet I can beat you in 6 moves.
He said he would beat you in 6 moves.
To my surprise, Everett beat me in exactly 6 moves. As we played, he began to loosen up. I could see he was more relaxed and at ease. I asked for a rematch. Without warning, I shuddered. Something had happened. At first, I thought I had eaten too much. Then, quite involuntarily, I said, "Luck has nothing to do with it."
Mason, did you understand him? Because he just told you good luck with beating him.
Without trying, I was beginning to understand Everett. I couldn't be sure, but it felt like that was a real breakthrough. That evening, I lost every game I played with Everett. But with every game we played, his whistle sounded less musical and more speech-like. We played chess until it was nearly midnight, when he said,
Come back tomorrow at 1. We will talk.
"I'll see you then." I stood up and headed towards the door. Barbara followed me out while telling Everett goodnight. As we walked down the stairs, she asked me,
Did you understand that he wants to see you tomorrow, too?
I must have, although I'm not sure how.
It took me months to learn his language. You're a quick study, Mason.
I saw Barbara to her door, then headed to my car for the drive home. I left Everett's apartment that night with a strange mix of frustration and hope. The long game, building trust, one pizza slice and chess move at a time. I was due back at 1 p.m., ready for Everett to finally talk.
Feeling rough and looking low, got no sparkle, got no glow. Morning whiskers stiff and tough, had enough of feeling gruff. Smooth glide, make your razor swing and ride. Clean and sharp, a brand new day. Smooth glide shows the shining way. Step right up, it's time to shine. Confidence of feeling fine. Face so smooth from chin to cheek. The smooth glide comfort can't be beat. Smooth glide, make your razor swing and ride. Clean and sharp, a brand new day. Smooth glide shows the shining way. Smooth glide, make your razor swing and ride. Clean and sharp, a brand new day. Smooth glide shows the shining way.
Gentlemen, are you tired of that morning tug and pull? Does your razor skip and scrape, leaving your skin feeling like a winter road? Well, it's time to discover the secret to a truly magnificent shave that leaves you feeling refreshed and ready to conquer the day.
The next afternoon, the spring sun was unusually bright, almost mocking. As I approached the apartment building on 43rd, the usual street sounds were swallowed by a different kind of buzz. Hushed whispers, flashing blue lights reflecting off polished fenders. A small crowd had gathered. My gut clenched. Then I saw him, Everett. He stood near the entrance, a solitary figure amidst a growing commotion, his gaze fixed on something I couldn't yet see. And from him, a sound. A single, pure, mournful note whistled into the unfeeling air of Chicago City. It hung there, a lament, a dirge. And in that moment, I knew something had happened to Barbara. My stride broke into a run. The uniformed officers were trying to keep people back, but I pushed through. I spotted Frank Stillman. His face was grim. Frank, what happened?
Mason, you're here. There was an accident. Early this morning, a hit and run. Mrs. Miller was crossing the street when someone ran over her.
My vision narrowed to Everett. His whistle died, replaced by a low, guttural sound I hadn't heard before, a sound of profound loss. He looked at me, his eyes wide and vacant, as if the world had just cracked open at his feet. The bridge was gone, and I was standing alone on the precipice of Everett's silence. The next days bled into each other. Barbara's funeral was a quiet affair, attended mostly by her colleagues from the newspaper, and Everett, silent as stone. The official report called it a tragic accident. I called it a damn convenient coincidence. The woman who could translate, the only witness to Professor Reed's murder, was gone. And suddenly the long game was out of time. I brought Everett back to my office. He was like a lost shadow, clinging to the only familiarity left. My office sofa was now his temporary bed, my desk, his world. I had no choice. If I wanted to find the killer, I had to understand Everett. I had to learn his language. It was a battle of wills, a marathon of concentration. Hours stretched into days. I replayed the whistles from the pizza night in my head, trying to find patterns. I whistled back, mimicking, experimenting. Everett would watch, sometimes offering a new string of notes, sometimes just shaking his head in silent frustration. Barbara had said I was a quick study. I prayed she was right. And then it clicked. Not all at once, but a gradual unfolding. The sounds weren't random melodies, they were building blocks. Short bursts for objects, longer flowing notes for actions, high pitches for urgency, low for contemplation. His vocabulary was limited, direct, focused on nouns and verbs, emotions and observations. He couldn't describe a man's face or the texture of his suit, not with whistles, but he could point. He could identify. We sat by the window in my office. I showed him pictures from the newspaper, faces, cars. His whistles were still a mystery to anyone else, but to me, they were forming crude sentences. He indicated the man was tall, that he was over 30 years old, and that he had a mark or scar on his face. That was as far as he could tell me using his whistles, but he could tell me if he saw him again. He couldn't name the type of car, but he could show me one. He could show me. He could walk me down the street and point. The long game just got a lot shorter. The puzzle pieces were there, scattered on the floor of my mind. Everett held the key to some of them. He could point, he could identify, but I couldn't parade him into a precinct lineup. Not yet. Not while I still held onto a sliver of hope that Barbara's accident wasn't an accident at all. And not when Everett was still a ghost clinging to my office sofa. There was another way. To bring the photos to Everett.
Tune in next week for part 4 of The Whistler.